Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to Chairman DeFazio for recognizing the importance of this Member Day hearing. I'm grateful for all of the work that together we accomplished in the 116th Congress, and I very much look forward to working with you, Chairman DeFazio, and Ranking Member Graves to continue our work together. As I've told you before, I came to Congress to work on the issues facing everyday Americans and everyday Minnesotans, like fixing our nation's crumbling infrastructure, making it easier for communities in my district to carry out transformational projects. As a former member of the T&I committee, I was proud to help shape HR 2 in the last Congress and set the roadmap for putting people back to work on our infrastructure plan, like adding a lane and interchange on I-35 in Lakeville to ease traffic, improving Highway 52 in Goodhue County, and completing outstanding projects on Highway 13 that will improve freight access. Completing these projects, among many others, will help reduce congestion, increase safety, and are the infrastructure projects of our future. The Moving Forward Act contained a number of key infrastructure policy priorities that we must get across the finish line this year. Therefore, I would strongly urge the committee to include the following policy proposals contained within the bill. First is funding for active transportation projects with an active transportation connectivity grant program to support infrastructure investment in connected active transportation networks for walking and bicycling. The funding would support the development of active transportation networks such as the Veterans Memorial Greenway, which will connect Lebanon Hills and the Mississippi River Greenway through the Inver Grove Heights and Eagan communities. Last year, HR 2 proposed to dedicate $250 million in 1 year for the program. The infrastructure bill under development should include the grant program with full funding of $500 million per year over the full life of the bill. Secondly, increase federal aid, highway funding, and establish community transportation investment grants program. This would help local governments such as Dakota County access new sources of funding to complete key community projects that are urgently needed but currently lack the funding to complete. Third, continue to recognize the importance of freight and ensure devoted funding for multimodal transportation projects, such as those under development on Highway 13 between Burnsville and Savage in my congressional district. Fourth, increase flexibility and direct funding for rural communities and readopt the Craig Local Roads Amendment. HR 2 contained historic investments in dedicated local transportation funding, including the $600 million per year through the Community Transportation Grant Program for projects that improve safety and make necessary improvements, with a minimum of 25% of those funds set aside for our rural communities. It also would have established the Rebuild Rural Grant Program focused on infrastructure in rural communities and expand the high-risk rural roads program and increase investments for safe rural roads without depleting other funding resources. The base bill should also include the text of my amendment that was included to provide dedicated surface transportation block grant funding to local roads in communities with populations under 5,000. Three more quick priorities. Create a standalone bridge repair program. The updated proposal should carry over the minimum bridge investment requirement that will help states keep their bridges safe. Encourage transportation and infrastructure careers. The bill should again examine current efforts and look for ways to encourage diverse applicants to fill in-demand transportation career opportunities. Finally, increase available safe truck parking. The bill should incorporate provisions of my Truck Parking Safety Improvement Act to address the shortage of parking for commercial motor vehicles to improve the safety of commercial motor vehicle drivers. I've also been hearing directly from my local communities about the specific projects they wish to see funded under the committee's new process, and I look forward to sharing those with each of you soon. It's clear that demand is high for a robust infrastructure package to meet the overwhelming need from a community's perspective to increase our active trail networks, repair our highways and freeways to a state of good repair, and invest in modern transit systems. Finally, I would also strongly encourage the committee to add relevant infrastructure programs such as the EPA's Section 319 program and include the text of the bipartisan Local Water Protection Act again this Congress as the bill is advanced for a final floor vote. Thank you so much for your time and attention to such important matters, and I yield back the balance of my time.